apologize a number of times, but is he actually convincing anybody?
I still think that he's pulling the hoodie over everyone's eyes, and it's really these past 2 days, even though it's been extensive hours of questioning, the Senate, members of the House are not coming off as really technologically savvy, and it's very, very problematic for what's been going on. And Zuckerberg can apologize as much as he'd like. It doesn't fix the situation. He is not really offering a path forward, and that's where the problem lies.
Lisa, Zuckerberg also tried to maybe gain some empathy by saying his own personal data was included in that Cambridge Analytica breach, but yet people have been abandoning Facebook by massive numbers. Do you expect this trend to continue, or is this just a fad that Facebook can somehow recover from?
I think people abandoning Facebook is just a fad. Unfortunately, I think if more people were leaving in droves, it might really spark some massive change at Facebook. Hopefully these lines of questioning that we've been seeing will help push along change, but really the only thing that's going to spark significant change is regulation. And when members of the Senate, members of the House are saying, well, maybe we need Zuckerberg's help to actually put in place regulation, that should scare technology professionals, it should scare privacy professionals, because you need people that know the crossing point between privacy and the law, and who also understand the pipelines of the technology to really put in place the right measures.
And Lisa, we've heard Zuckerberg offer a number of solutions to Congress, but is there anything feasible from what he's said so far?
What he's saying seems really vague. He keeps saying that, consumers are allowed to opt out of some of these measures. They can really see clearly what their privacy controls are, which isn't necessarily true. And I know a couple of the senators pointed out that the privacy policy, the terms of use, some of them said that it sucked, that it wasn't easy to read. And that is part of the problem, but really a clearer breakdown of how consumers' data is being used is the issue at hand.
Asher, what Lisa is bringing up is an important point, and that's despite that Mark Zuckerberg took responsibility today and yesterday during those hearings, very little was said about real regulatory changes that will make Facebook operate differently, perhaps preventing another breach in the future.
Well, that's right. And this really isn't the stage for doing that sort of regulatory change, as it were. As Lisa pointed out, the fact that there seems to be an attitude that Congress is going to Zuckerberg for answers on how to regulate is a really twisted state of affairs. This is the man that they're trying to regulate against him and his organizations. He has a company that effectively has a monopoly on social media in a lot of senses, and to turn to him for advice on how to deal with this problem is really a bit twisted and a bit concerning. He's the person, and his organization represents the people they're trying to regulate against, and Congress should be coming up with these ideas from specialists, legal experts, data privacy experts, and people who truly understand the situation, as Lisa said, from outside the industry, not necessarily as part of this great machine.
And Lisa, back to you in New York. It's very sexy to discuss what will happen to Mark Zuckerberg, what happens to that multi-million-dollar company, what happens at Congress and in those hearings. But at the end of the day, how does that affect you and me as private users of Facebook? Can we do anything differently, or should we just accept that we have no real privacy online?
I think at the end of the day, we have to accept the fact that when we sign up for any kind of social media platform, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, you are the product. You are giving up your personal privacy in exchange for this service. It is not free. And also, these hearings really should be an example to the public that Zuckerberg's primary concern is not the consumer's privacy, and we really have to watch out for ourselves.
And Asher, we'll go back to you. Where do you see all of this going now?
Well, looking ahead, the